Hello, everybody. You've tuned in to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm Sergeant Rich Myers with the Indiana State Police District 52 Public Information Office. I'm your host for this week's show, and I appreciate you listening to our roadshow. I appreciate the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids for sponsoring our show each and every week and for them being here. I appreciate Tom Trial for putting us on YouTube each and every week and being behind the scenes doing what he does. And also appreciate our guest today, Sergeant Anthony Emery, longtime friend, longtime worker, longtime recruiting person, talking today about the recruiting efforts of the Indiana State Police. Welcome, Anthony.
Well, thanks for having me, Rich. Glad to be back.
Appreciate you being here and coming in on this day. Kind of chilly out today, but we appreciate you being in here with us and talking about the recruiting efforts of the Indiana State Police. We've got our application process open.
We do.
That's great. We need the help.
We absolutely need the help.
So tell us what's going on with the recruiting session, and if a person is interested in becoming an Indiana State Trooper, what's their process that they need to be looking at right now?
Sure, and I want to tell everybody to get their pens or pencils ready because we'll be giving them the website here just momentarily.
Yeah,
because
copy some information down.
Exactly, because what you'll need to do is go to our website, and right on our website, you'll find the Career Opportunities tab on the left-hand side of that page.
And our website's at?
It's www.in.gov/ISP. I know that's a mouthful. So a lot of folks, what we tell them, the easiest way, just put Indiana State Police right in your search engine.
There you go.
And it should be the first thing that pops up. But again, it's www.in.gov/ISP if you want the specific website itself. But once you get to our webpage, just look on the left-hand side of that page, and you're going to see a Career Opportunities tab. Once you click on that, there's going to be several options. The first option that pops up will be State Trooper. Click on that tab, and as soon as you open up that page, then the application is going to be right in front of you. There's going to be a little paragraph filling in a little bit about it with submission deadlines and things like that, and then a link to click on the online application.
Now, I know sometimes before we have the actual application process, like if a class is going on and we're not actively seeking applications, you have a pre-app that is available to fill out now. Is that available to fill out now, or is that taken down since we're taking the application?
Right. The pre-app is only up and available when the application is not open. So right now the pre-app's not there. Okay. The day we close that, as a matter of fact, the submission deadline is going to be Wednesday, January 6th at 11:59 p.m. That's the submission deadline to participate in this selection process.
So don't be calling Thursday and saying, hey, I missed it.
Yeah, I missed it, didn't get it, because there are no exceptions to that. Unfortunately, that is a hard, steadfast deadline on that. But then with that being said, then January the 7th, that pre-app will be back up on the website again.
Okay. And that pre-app, again, explain what that does.
The pre-app is something as simple as you give us your name, address, telephone number, and an email address, and then we put that in our database. And that then gives us an email or contact information for you. Once we do open up the application or we have additional information we want to push out, then we email you. It sends an automated email out to you, provides you that information. Or like in this case, when the application actually opened just 2 weeks ago, that actually sent an email out with the actual application link. So you can just click right on it, provide you some additional information about deadlines and things of that nature.
But that doesn't necessarily lock you in. If something in the meantime comes available, they go somewhere else, another job, they are not locked into a
absolutely
application.
Yep. It's what we tell everybody all the time. If you think you even have an inkling that you would be interested in participating in the process, fill out the pre-app. Again, you'll get those emails, and if you don't want to participate, you've changed your mind, your life have changed, you're not ready, hit the delete button, no harm, no foul. We're not going to stop by your house or call you on the phone and go, hey, where are you?
Okay. So that's down right now, but we're taking applications. What would a person need to know beforehand? I know when they go to look at this, it's going to tell everything, but maybe for our people listening out there, is there anything in hand that they need to have prior to going on there, information that they need to provide other than what they have at their house?
Well, the first thing that I do want to mention, I want to talk about the eligibility requirements.
Okay. All right.
Because before they ever go to fill out the application, they need to know, am I qualified or do I meet those eligibility requirements?
The basic requirements.
The basic requirements to apply. And first and foremost, you have to be a United States citizen. Secondly, you have to be at least 21 years of age and not more than 40 by the time of appointment. Now, I want to
explain appointment.
Yes, I want to explain that just a little bit because the appointment date is the date of the graduation from the academy. So for this particular process, for the 76 selection process, the academy graduation date is going to be Friday, October 21st. So what this means to you, if you're 20 years old and you will turn 21 on or prior to October 21st, 2016, you qualify. If you turn 40 on or prior to October 21st, 2016, you do not. So again, the appointment date is the graduation date of the academy. So you can apply at 20 years of age for the Indiana State Police as long as you reach your 21st birthday by that graduation date.
And that's all, again, we're complying with state law. You have to be 21 to be a sworn police officer in the state of Indiana. And then our retirement, you have to have 25 years in to get a retirement with the state police. So
Correct.
You have to retire by 65. Hence the 40-year age.
Sure. And we get a lot of calls wanting to know if we can get a waiver for that, for prior military and things. And unfortunately, we just cannot. That is actually set by state statute, and they dictate and determine what those age requirements are because of that 25-year active duty. So unfortunately, we cannot give anyone a waiver for that. Third, you must have a vision that's correctable to 20/50. We get a lot of calls about that. As long as it's correctable to 20/50, you're in good shape there.
So if you get glasses and you got them corrected, laser surgery, whatever.
Okay. Good to go as far as that goes. You have to possess a valid driver's license. I know that, you chuckle. We get a lot of conversations and questions. We get people that apply that are suspended, and you do have to drive a car.
That driver's license in our line of work.
You kind of got to have that because we are going to give you a car, and you got to be able to legally drive that. You have to have a high school diploma or GED. We get a question all the time about college requirements. Indiana State Police used to have a college requirement, but we did away with that probably 6-7 years ago,
right.
If you recall.
I'm with that.
And we figured we were missing a lot of folks out there that maybe they didn't have the opportunity to go to college. But that didn't mean that, or it doesn't mean that they would not make a good trooper. So again, we wanted to open that up. We get the question all the time, what are my chances? I will tell you this, the statistics have shown us that 78% of our applicants who go to the academy either have a college education or military experience. But with that being said, that means there's 22% out there that have neither of those. So again, don't let that keep you from putting in for the job. And then the most important one that I like to throw out there is that you must be willing to reside anywhere in the state of Indiana. And a lot of folks, we have a lot of questions on that one. It is by departmental needs. So again, if you're in Evansville, they will do their best to try to get you back in Evansville or the district surrounding the Evansville area. But at the end of the day, when you sign on the line, you are agreeing to live anywhere in the state of Indiana. So you could be sent to Fort Wayne or Gary.
Right. And after a couple of years there, you can apply to go back with with the new class that we have come out or whatever.
Sure.
It is totally on department needs where you're going to need it at, where the department needs their people at. So you can go anywhere. But like you say, they try really hard to put you back in the same place anymore because they kind of figure you're going to go back anyways.
Exactly. You're going to transfer after that year or so anyway. So why not put you where you want to go?
So where are we at on applications right now? Do you got a number?
We do. When I checked right before we opened the application, I checked on pre-applicants, and we had just over 5,200 pre-apps on file. Don't let that scare everybody off because what we find or what we have seen historically is about half of those folks, or maybe just better than half, will actually put an application in. Okay. So again, I'm just going on speculation, but we are anticipating around 3,000 applicants for this selection process, and then we'll go from there. So again, the first phase of that, though, will be the written test.
3,000 applicants for how many positions are we looking at?
We are looking between 60 and 80 for this recruit school. And again, it kind of it can vary a little bit there. So I do believe that we will have at least 60 cadets for this recruit school coming up.
Okay. Well, like the superintendent said the other night, he's wanting to get the numbers. We need the help, but he's not going to put somebody in there that does not deserve to be in there.
That's exactly right. We had 60 slots for the last process. Matter of fact, those folks are getting ready to graduate. And for those folks, we had 60 slots there, and he only had 59 that he felt comfortable with giving that appointment to, and that's what he did. We had another seat we could have sat in there, but he said, at this point, I'm not gonna go with that maybe. I'm going to go with those absolutes. Good.
So they've got their application in. They filled that out online. Is there anything, like we discussed a while ago, is there anything they need to have in hand to fill this out, or is it pretty much what you know at the time of filling it out?
Right. The initial application is going to be pretty simple. They're only going to require your current employment and your current address. You will be asked at a later date, if you make it to the background investigation, to supply basically everything of your life, but you're going to be given ample opportunity and notification on what you're going to need and when you will need it. So to fill it out, it's going to be pretty simple. You're just going to be able to have your general information when you go on to fill it out. Again, they're not going to ask for any extensive background information right up front, so don't worry about necessarily having the exact addresses of houses that you lived in 10 years ago or what have you. You will need that at a later time, but to fill out the initial application, it's going to be pretty straightforward and up front.
Well, again, I'm talking to Sergeant Anthony Emery from the recruiting section of the Indiana State Police. So you're listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Sergeant Rich Myers from the Indianapolis State Police Public Information Office. It's being brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. And Anthony, if they apply and what is the next step after this initial application process?
Well, the application deadline again is January 6th, and on January 9th and 10th will be the written exam. The thing that I really like about the process this go around is we're giving the applicants some flexibility and latitude. They get to choose which date and which session, a morning or afternoon session on those dates that they get to take the written exam, as well as the PT exam, which will take place then on the 16th and 17th of January. So again, we're giving them some flexibility and some say in when they come and take those written exams and the PT test as far as that goes.
Now, where's the written exam going to be held
The
at?
written exam is going to be right here at the Indiana Government Center, right downtown Indianapolis. Again, we only have one location, so everybody's got to come to Indianapolis for that. And the physical or the PT exam, physical fitness test, will be out the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy in Plainfield.
And I tell people, I get the question a lot when we were doing the recruiting together through the Public Information Office, and still get it now. How can I study for the written exam? And there's a lot of books and things available out there online.
There are a tremendous number of books that basically they're written test preps for law enforcement agencies. That's going to pretty much cover what you're going to see on our exams. There's no big surprises. And I also want to point out to everybody that on our website are the FAQs, the frequently asked questions. And that information is going to be in there as well. So if you go down and look, how can I prepare for the test or what to expect on the test, we're going to give you some information on there as far as what types of books you should go look at and to help you prepare for that written exam.
And that's probably one of the first things that knock a lot of people out. But I know the next thing knocks a lot of people out. They're not prepared for the physical part, are they?
They're not. And it's kind of ironic because we talked to folks and they said, oh, those minimum standards are very minimal. And they are. When you look at that, it looks very easy. With that being said, a lot of folks walk in and they have not jumped in the air 16 inches or more, since high school.
Right.
Again, a lot of the males, they can pretty much jump that 16 inches. Females, they really struggle with that one. So work on it. That's something that you can greatly increase your vertical jump pretty easily over a 30 or 45-day period. Then we have the push-ups. Again, you got to be able to do 25 untimed push-ups. Doesn't sound like much. But you got to be able to do those without moving your hand, without raising your rear in the air or touching the deck. 29 sit-ups in a minute. Again, not hard to do. And then you're going to go out for a 300 meter, 72 seconds. Very easy for that to happen. You'll come back in, and then you're going to do your mile and a half. That's the other portion of it.
Well, I think what a lot of people don't prepare for is this happens boom, boom, boom.
It does. There's no rest in between. You're going from one event to the next.
Right.
And the important part of this is the one part of the process that you as the applicant have complete, total control over and how well you do and where your placement. You are scored and ranked on that. So those who do the minimum standards, everyone that passes the minimum standard gets to continue. Those who just barely squeak by, probably not going to be offered a job because you are ranked and scored, and that's a large portion of your final placement on our hiring list. So you want to knock it out of the park.
Yeah, and you got to do this, like we said, correctly. The push-ups, you got to go down and touch the person's hand underneath. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do that, you don't count. They can knock you out very easily.
And all those protocols are also on our website. So again, go on there and you can look right at it. It's the physical agilities test. You click on that link. They're going to spell those out for you. They're even going to have pictures showing you exactly what's expected and what those proctors are looking for when you're participating in that test.
Great. Well, we got about a minute and 15 seconds left. What else do they need to know prior to applying and getting ready for this?
The big thing I just want to tell everybody is make sure that you are getting that in before the deadline. Again, I want to remind everybody it's January 6th at 11:59 p.m. No exceptions on that. Get that in. Make sure that you're preparing. Start today preparing for that PT test. We've only got about 2 months or less before that PT test rolls around. So start getting ready for that. Also, make sure that you're coming in there dressed for success. When you come in for our interviews, we've had a lot of folks walk in blue jeans and T-shirts, and I'll tell you, you have one opportunity to give that first impression. You walk in blue jeans and a T-shirt on for our interview, you're not going to get the job. Yeah. Again, we expect you to be in a business suit, shoes shined up, groomed, freshly shaven. So again, come in there dressed for success.
You want to stand out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you talking about this and giving the information out that we have on our next upcoming application process. Again, www.in.gov/ISP. On the left-hand side is career opportunities. Click on that and tell you all about the application process. We appreciate you listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops Are Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. We'll catch you again on the next show. Roadshow is out.